Students, now we are going to discuss about the thermometer.
Students, when you had fever, your mother or doctor must have measured your fever by using some device. That device is thermometer. Thermometer is an instrument which is used to measure temperature. The thermometer that is used to measure heat of our body is called clinical thermometer, while those thermometers used to measure room temperature are simply called thermometers. Students, you must have noticed that thermometer has basically two parts. They are cylindrical glass tube and mercury bulb. The mercury bulb has thin capillary attached with it that runs inside the glass tube. Level of mercury in the capillary tube of thermometer indicates the temperature of the body.
So, dear students, a thermometer is an instrument that is used to measure temperature. Now, let us discuss about the process of measuring temperature.
Students, let us learn to measure temperature using thermometer. Mostly, clinical thermometer is leveled in two scales. At one side, there is Celsius scale, and on the other side, there is Fahrenheit scale. To measure temperature, we keep the mercury bulb of the thermometer inside our mouth or under our shoulder. When the mercury bulb gets heated, it expands and moves through the capillary tube. To measure the temperature, we need to look for the mercury level in the capillary tube. The end point of the mercury level in the capillary tube shows the temperature of the body. If the mercury level in the capillary tube is up to 100 Fahrenheit or 38 Celsius, then the temperature of our body is 100 degree Fahrenheit or 38 degrees Celsius. Students, please note that the clinical thermometer starts its reading from 35 degrees Celsius to 42 degrees Celsius or 94 degree Fahrenheit to 108 degree Fahrenheit. Temperature of a healthy person is 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit or almost 37 degrees Celsius.
So, dear students, we use a clinical thermometer to measure the temperature of our body. You all know how to compare two numbers, don't you? Now look here.
Here we have a sack of rice weighing 25 kilograms and another sack of rice that weighs 50 kilograms. Now, can you tell which of these two sacks has more weight? Yes, 50 kilograms is more than 25 kilograms in weight. So here, this sack weighing 50 kilograms has more weight than the sack weighing 25 kilograms.
Now look here again. Madan works in an office. He earns 15,000 rupees in a month. He has a son named Ghanshyam. He is good at studying. He scored 81 marks out of 100 in a maths test this month. Now let us compare the Madan's earning and his son Ghanshyam's score in mathematics. Can we compare them? No, we can't.
Let us think for a while. We can compare two sacks of rice. But we cannot compare the amount of money and the score in the test. Do you know why? It is because both the sacks of rice are measured in the same unit or quantity, that is, kilograms. So, they can easily be compared.
But the amount of money is measured in rupees while the score is measured in numbers. They are two different units of quantities. So, we cannot measure them. So, when we compare two or more things, they must be of the similar unit or quantity. Now, let us compare some more quantities. Rajan Dahal and Parvati Dahal have 4 children. 3 of them are daughters and 1 of them is a son. Now let us compare the number of sons and the number of daughters in the family. Here the number of sons is 1. And the number of daughters is 3. Now let us find the difference between the number of sons and the number of daughters here.
Here, the number of sons is 1 and the number of daughters is 3. So, when we find the difference between the number of daughters and the number of sons, we get 2. So, when we compare, we say that the number of daughters is more than the number of sun by 2.
But do you know that we can also compare in another way? Here, for one son, there are 3 daughters. That means the number of daughters is 3 times more than the number of sons. So we can compare by finding the difference. And we can also compare by how many times one is more or less than the other.
In the above example, we find that the number of daughters is 3 times more than the number of sons. In mathematics, we can also write it as 3, this sign, and 1. This form of writing the numbers having this sign colon is called ratio. Here, this symbol in between the number 3 and the number 1 is used to denote the ratio. It is also called the ratio sign. And we read it as is 2.
So here we read this ratio as 3:1. Similarly, this ratio is read as 2:5. And this ratio is read as 9:22. Now you know what a ratio is, don't you? Yes, a ratio is also one of the ways to compare the quantities of the same unit.
Let us learn something about bill today.
You all are familiar with the term bill, aren't you?
Students, when we buy some materials from a shop, the shopkeeper gives us a bill. A bill gives us many information about the items that we bought and other things. Let us learn about the various components of a bill and the information that it gives us. Look at this bill here. Here, on the top of this bill, it has Kushal Enterprises written on it. It is the name of the enterprises from where the materials are purchased. This part of the bill gives the information about the shop, dealer, factory, etc., from where the items are purchased. Here, just below the name of the store, there is New Baneshwar, Kathmandu, Nepal, written on it. It is the address of the enterprises where the items are bought.
That means the shop Kusal Enterprises is located at New Baneshwar, Kathmandu, Nepal. So, this upper part of the bill gives us the information about the shop, factory, etc., and its address.
On the upper right-hand side of the bill, there is date written on it. It is the date of purchase. Here, the date of purchase is written as 2066.9.15. It means the items were purchased on 15th of Paush in the year 2066. Besides, here, this bill contains the bill number on the upper left-hand side of the bill. It shows that the bill number is 185. This bill number also helps us to keep the record about the items sold. Students, some of the bills also has PAN number written on it.
A PAN number is a 9-digit number that refers to the acronym for Permanent Account Number. PAN number or Permanent Account Number is a unique identification number issued to all the shopkeepers or sellers who pays the tax to the government.
Now, just below the bill number and date, there is the name of customer written on it. And it has Mr. Dinesh Parajuli written on it. It indicates that the customer who bought the articles is Mr. Dinesh Parajuli. It also has the address of the customer below it, which shows that Dinesh lives in Kathmandu 32 in Anamnagar of Nepal.